Welcome to the Ant-Man channel on this Thursday, the 7th of February, 2013. Guns a-blazing, Ted Nugent is here. Outspoken, liberty-loving author, rocker, and to Pen exclusive weekly column. This is another W&D report. I got another one from AP with Bruce Willis coming out. I mean, we all know Bruce Willis from Die Hard. Now he's really coming out. Pretty much, this is the kind of celebrity that I like to see, because he's made movies portraying, because movies is fake, man. It's fake. Anybody could do that, man. Don't pretend that this is some special God person that understands more than you and could understand more than you. That's all baloney. But the people like Bruce Willis, man, it's funny to see him because he's a celebrity, and he's portrayed people who come out with guns and just blah blah. They'll just shoot you down. You get in their way, and then he comes out in real life and absolutely just backs that up. It's like it's not that I make movies, just for the fun. Some people, it's a culture, even in celebrities, between that type of like society, like the rich people, pretty much, within themselves also have diverse groups in themselves, and some of them are like Ted Nugent and Bruce Willis, and some of them are like Brad Pitt and are probably very lonely people and need a hug, and he needs some really cool friends, I bet. Like I'm very grateful that I have the type of friends that I have, because they're hard hitting, and they're not afraid to tell you the truth about anything. But anyway, let's get into this Ted Nugent article. Exuding a love of liberty, guns in America that elicit either delight or dismay, depending on your perspective. The outspoken rock showman, humanitarian, and TV host Ted Nugent debuted today as an exclusive W&D columnist. Whoa, that's news to me. Nugent's column, entitled "The Ted Offensive," will appear on the news site each Thursday. I mean, before I read this quote by Ted Nugent, everybody's firing off all these huge operations, and they're really pretty awesome. Like Alex Jones, of course, is doing Operation Paul Revere, where he's pretty much giving a reward about making a video. Who can make the best video? And I'm even considering doing it. I don't know, but I think that's an absolutely brilliant idea. That's going to get a lot of people out there to open their minds and really get into knowing how powerful we really are, and knowing that it's not really what people go about saying about you're a monkey and you don't have an opinion and you're weak and all that, because it's a bunch of garbage. It's all garbage. Ted Nugent rocks, said Joseph Farah, editor and chief executive officer of W&D. And I don't mean just a music star. He rocks as an outspoken entertainer who is so politically incorrect. We're honored that he would choose W&D to sound off about what's on his mind every week. A passionate defender of Americans' Second Amendment rights, Nugent this week went toe-to-toe with anti-gun CNN host Piers Moran. Nugent told Morgan, "First of all, I've been monitoring your gun debates. Go ahead and take it to the bank. You'll never understand. I really don't believe you'll ever grasp. You don't understand that it's a simple, inanimate tool that tens of millions of American families own that have never caused a problem, never had an accident, and will never commit a crime. You have these aberrations that are such a minute percentage." Nugent made news last April for controversial comments he made during the NRA's annual members meeting in St. Louis. The Support American subsequently gave Nugent spike tales of a Ted Nugent for President bumper sticker. In his debut column for W&D today, Nugent writes about gun control attempts. For one free man to attempt to tell another free man what legal products he should or should not be able to own is the most gross and irresponsible bastardization of America and of freedom I can imagine. But then again, I'm not a helpless, feckless, spineless, blood-sucking sheep waiting for direction. To millions for music lovers, Ted Nugent is a legend in rock and roll history, and I will agree to that, man. He is a piece of where rock and roll, what it's gone through, and what phases of evolution the guitar has gone through. Ted Nugent's a legend in rock and roll history as a guitar shredding snowman, selling more than 40 million albums in his career, and performing more than 6,400 concerts. It says, well, Ted Nugent has had, one hell of a ride, I guess you can say, man. Nugent's music career spanned 5 decades and has been featured on A&E biographies and VH1's Behind the Music, named Detroit's greatest guitar player of all time by readers of M Live. Nugent performed for 55,000 Marines, sailors, and families at Camp Pendleton's Rockin' the Corpse. Was honored to join fellow musician Toby Keith on a USO tour of the Persian Gulf and has donated in excess of 6,000 concert tickets and backstage passes to individual troops stateside since 2005. As an uncompromising advocate of constitutional rights, Nugent has conducted thousands of pro-gun, pro-freedom, pro-America interviews in major media worldwide. He has served continuously on the board of directors of the NRA since his initial election in 1995, where he consistently sets record for amassing the highest number of votes received by an individual board member. Nugent is dedicated to preserving our great outdoor heritage for future generations, and along with wife Shemaine, regularly hosts hunts for sick and terminally ill children with of a lifetime hunt for a cure and via his own Camp for Kids. He has been named favorite hunting personality by the readers of Outdoor Magazine and was inducted into the National Bow Hunters Hall of Fame. Acknowledged for his skills as an outdoorsman and for his tireless promotion of bow hunting, Nugent hosts an award-winning Ted Nugent's Spirit of the Wild television show, seen exclusively on Outdoor Channel, where he serves an ambassador for the network. Well, I'm surprised the network hasn't, well, that's the end of that article, but I'm surprised the networks haven't canceled his show, just like all the other pro-liberty shows they've been canceling, like American Guns and all these, whatever that one was about the family that likes to go shoot guns. They canceled all those shows, and somebody on one of those television shows ended up dead somehow, and it was all like a controversy and all that. But every time someone dies, it's like, lately, it's like, it's always like an unexplainable, it sounds like crap, like there's all kinds of things that don't add up. People are telling different stories, and it never matches. The story never matches. There's just so much false witness going around, but it's all engineered to be that way. And these shows, by the way, the pro America shows like American Gun, they were actually breaking records on History Channel because so many people were watching it. I mean, they had record high numbers and all that, but it just makes it that more obvious the more they try to fight us, because it's just going to make more people wake up. So go ahead, don't worry about it, because the sheep will decide. The sheep will decide on their own who they want to serve. I mean, like it was in Exodus, in the book of Exodus, when God pretty much set the Israelites free through Moses, because Moses pretty much let them out with authority. There were still Hebrews that decided to stay and serve certain pharaohs and all that, but they had to, there's a whole symbolic thing about how they had to pierce their ear, and because they heard they were free, but they still decided to be slaves, so they pretty much had to pierce their ear as a symbol of that's. But it's some people explain that better than I, but I still understand what it means. It means that some people, for the sake of peace and like. But why would you? I don't know, man. Some people just want to be slaves, I guess. I don't even know how to explain that. I don't know. I don't even know how to comprehend that. But no matter what happens, some people will still decide to serve the system and pretty much get in your way if you're somebody that's just trying to help people and not conform to all this going on. As a Christian, we are our own nation. We are the body of Christ. We're our own nation. America is America, and Christianity is Christianity, and you cannot, civil government, all of that stuff comes from God, and you know who has authority over everything else on this earth, and if you were a Christian, you understand what that means. Joshua, the kind of faith that Joshua had in the book of Joshua, he made the moon and the sun sit still so that the sun could stay out longer, so that he could whoop his enemies more because he wanted to win. And God was so for him that he allowed that authority. He gave him the power when Joshua declared that authority. I mean, that's an absolute awe-inspiring like moment in the Bible that makes you think of like, that's a man's man right there. Joshua is a man's man. Like, you gotta understand, like, if you're a man of war and if you're willing to die and fight for your country, like, that's some, that is some power right there, ladies and gentlemen. Pretty much.